So welcome back. We're talking with Lynne Cockrum-Murphy about suffering and her book. And Lynne, what do you want readers to take away from your book?
Two things. One is the title, Living Hope. There's a reason to have hope. There is always a little hope. It might just mean changing our perspective. I also want them to recognize that all those tools that are in the book and having a spiritual path is individualized. Do it your way. Just do something that works for you.
That's important.
And that there's no one way that helps everybody, right? You hopscotched along until you settled on a combination of things that really worked for you, that felt good to you. And that may be different from me, from Roger, from anybody else that's experiencing traumas and the dramas in their life that they want to move past. Is that fair to say?
Well, and it includes saying no. Like, no, I don't want you in my life anymore. You're toxic. You hurt me. You say you love me, but emotionally you hurt me or physically or however. I'm done. So that helps. Trying to think. Saying no to old habits. Like, okay, that was a habit and it served me then, but it's not serving me now, so I'm done with that. And using the support systems that are available with those things. There are a lot of different recovery programs for eating disorders, besides alcoholism or substance abuse, even for Debtors Anonymous.
Gamblers Anonymous. There's all kinds of those things, right?
Yeah, right.
I remember reading something in your book about self-love, and you talked about love. What's the role of self-love in all of this?
I think it's part of what enables us to be kind to ourselves. I talked about when you write autobiography, only sharing it with people that are going to be kind to you about it. It doesn't mean you don't want the truth tellers in your life, because sometimes there are people that will tell you the truth and it opens your eyes and it means you need to make a change. But mostly it's about the kindness, being gentle with yourself, not forcing yourself to do things, but finding what feels good. I also think self-love enables us to let love in from others and to give the world so much more. Because if we love ourselves, then we have so much to offer.
One of the things that I read, I think it was maybe it was in your book or on the back cover or something, but you mentioned the fact that you were looking most of your life outside of yourself to find happiness and love and whatever else. And most all of us do that. So can you talk a little bit about how important it was for you to recognize that it wasn't out there, that it was in here?
Yeah, some of what I did is I thought other people had my answers. And if I could just find the right person and ask the right questions, I could get what I needed. And, I got little bits, I got ideas and suggestions, but no one had my truth. No one had my deepest healing. That came in being silent with myself, journaling, which was just for me, and in my meditations, and allowing that creative force of the universe to transmute my pain. So definitely going within. And there are so many supports for that. I have meditation on my webpage, but Deepak Chopra and Oprah Winfrey have 30 days of meditation challenges. There are so many resources out there.
There are meditation groups on Facebook even that people join, and gratitude support type pages or groups. That's kind of an advantage in the social media age, is we are connected.
Yeah.
So reaching out and finding that group that, might resonate with you.
But I think it starts with something also that you mentioned earlier that's on your checklist, which is you have to surrender. And I know for me, that was my biggest challenge, but it's also something that I'm mindful of quite often. It's like, okay, I just need to surrender. I don't know what to surrender to what is, but what I'm surrendering to, other than maybe just myself. But I think that's a huge key in all of this, don't you think?
Right. There's a chapter on it in the book because it is really important. And I didn't get it at first. I went around and asked people, what is surrender? You talk about it. You seem to do that. How? Because I don't know how. And in doing that, that helped some. That's the part of looking outside and asking. And it does help some. But then going inside, and I discovered that surrendering to that stillness and allowing that to well up, that does it for me.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm. So what's next for you, Lynne?
I'm doing my workshops. I have one starting this Wednesday.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. 7 Steps to Leaving Suffering Behind.
Uh-huh.
I intend to have some versions of that up on the website, that which people can do independent. Mm-hmm. And then the next book is coming out this summer. That is The Mystery of My Unfolding Self. What else?
Can you share anything about the mystery yet? Or do we have to wait for the book?
It has some channeling in it.
Okay.
And I'm still floored with the message that I got. And I was channeling for someone else. And this message was like, oh my God, that was such a great perspective. So I put it in the book and refer to it a couple of times in there because for me, it was a transformational moment. It is not like this book in that it has very little of my personal story. It's about the spiritual journey and observations and maybe some tools in that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the workshop you're giving that's in person, right? And in the Phoenix area, or okay, so people can attend in person, but that'll already be done probably by the time this actually goes to press. Do you have those on a regular basis? Mm-hmm. Are they coming up again?
Yeah, I've been doing them every other month.
Oh, good.
So in those workshops, people get to experience many of the things the tools that I talk about in Living Hope. Mm-hmm. So I will have them do, for instance, a genogram, which is something I learned about when I did my counseling training, to look at family systems. Really useful tool. But we do things like that, or their journaling, or their autobiography, and many other tools together. We meditate. I give them theta healing downloads. But we do that in a supportive, kind, and gentle environment, so they have time to talk and process and feel supported, because they're trying to do in a few weeks what I've done over decades. So.
Right. Well, time has sped up. We could probably do it like that.
That's right.
Isn't that the truth?
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We certainly see it, feel it every day. Now, where is your book available? Amazon and the usual places? I mean, can they get it on your website?
Amazon. It's available softback and Kindle. It's Barnes & Noble. Mm-hmm. My website, the Lynne Cockrum-Murphy with a hyphen, Cockrum-Murphy Murphy.com. My personal business website is thedesertjewel.org. And that's where they'll see about my classes and ongoing classes and services, because I can do theta healing, and I tend to do a combination of reading, theta healing, sometimes channeling comes into it, and use my counseling skills altogether. So we can do that in person, on the phone, or through Skype or Zoom.
Yeah.
So there's all those, but that's desertjewel.org. for all that.
You know, I was going to go to that website because I swore that maybe you made jewelry too.
You know, that was the name of a street in the town of Paradise Valley here. And I saw that and like, Desert Jewel, what a great name. Well, if I can't live on the street, let's see. So I just tucked it away. And then when I created my website, I thought, Desert Jewel, I love it.
Oh, I thought it was the secret life of Lynne Cockrum-Murphy, making jewelry.
It could be.
So, Lynne, you know, I want to give you a chance to give us some final thoughts. What, you know, anything that you want to leave our listeners with today?
I really have a sense today that we are all beings of light. And I would encourage people to create the opportunity in themselves to discover that they are brilliant and special and vibrant and unique, but they are that light that is the energy of life. And I would like them to know that, to discover it, to open to it, and to get what comes with that, because it changes our perspective. So know that you're a shining being of light.
Oh, thank you.
That's pretty awesome.
I appreciate it.
That's a great final thought. Lynne, thank you so much for being with us today on Empower You Media.
Yes.
We've really enjoyed talking to you. The book, again, for everybody, is Living Hope, Steps to Leaving Suffering Behind by Lynne Cockrum-Murphy, available on Amazon, on her website, and Barnes & Noble. Thank you, listeners, for joining us today. Thank my co-host, Roger, for being here.
Thanks, Janet.
In the midst of all the chaos that is your life at the moment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But no suffering.
Not suffering, just excitement.
No. I don't do that.
Lynne, we'll want to have you back, of course, when you have your next book out to be able to talk
Wonderful.
about that. Then we can hear the secrets of the unfolding part of this.
I want to know what the mystery is.
The mystery.
Thanks, Janet, and thanks, Robert, for having me. It's been
Thanks, Lynne.
a wonderful conversation.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining us today. We'll see you next week on another Empower You Media. Thanks. Bye.
Bye, everyone.